So back to what I was saying. What I was saying.
What's up, friends, family, and fans? It is I, Stone Stafford, and I am here with my right-hand ride or die.
My name is Johnny Vaughn.
Hey, and welcome to Life On Podcast. You already know what it is. This is where we listen and inspire friends
Everywhere.
and hopefully we do that. Today, we are going to be talking about that old child support. So, child support. We're going to talk about child support today, and this kind of seems like it's coming from the left as far as the topics are concerned.
It's heavily entertainment based, though.
But but there's been something that's happened with someone in entertainment where child support was the main.
I don't know if it was the main.
Wasn't the main thing, but it plays a big role.
It's a big part of it.
Played a big role. So Johnny then was like, "Hey, this is giving me some flashbacks. Let me. I'm just kidding. So anyway, so child support. So Johnny and I had an off mic discussion, and I just need you to clarify some things for folks.
Okay.
So you believe that child support ruins families, careers, and just kids' futures and all that?
I do.
Across the board?
I think it destroys them. I think there's a higher likelihood that it does than it helps. Because of what the system has become, wringing the most out of the child support payer, 9 times out of 10, the guy.
Do you know any incidences where the mom's paying child support?
Personally, no.
Have you heard of any?
I know some famous ones.
Do you guys know of
Sherry
any?
Shepherd's still paying child support.
Sherry Shepherd.
Sherry Shepherd.
From Apollo?
From the comedian, yeah.
She pays child support?
Yes. Like $4K a month.
Really?
Jeff and Lamar, her 2 ex-husbands, both get... Bro, it's a story
I did not know that.
It's a story out there that says that Jeff and Lamar go to court together against her and child support. Like, that's
emasculating.
Yes. I like the fellowship. I like to see brothers coming together.
Don't get me wrong. How do I use the word? I don't say it's nice because I hate that they're all in that situation. But
I do too. I would say
it's a little refreshing to see the roles reversed. But I wonder how that happened.
The details are out there. I have not read them, but for examples purposes, that's the first one that came to mind. Madonna came to mind too, because Madonna, when her and Guy Ritchie broke up, like she gave him like $75 million or something like that.
That was a settlement, though.
It was,
not
but
child support.
I think it incled some other stuff. Halle Berry's is child support though.
She pays child support. Mm-hmm. Get out of town, boy! You learn something new every day with old Johnny Vaughn.
See?
Okay, all right.
So, but in those situations,
but as far as it ruining though, like it being are you saying it's the cause?
I'm seeing it as being a heavily rooted cause in some of the ruining of familial relationships. What could potentially be repaired, even though if you decide to go your separate ways, when you turn it into an ugly bout over money. Especially when the numbers are becoming so outrageous. Man, I've seen like regular people, regular dudes working at FedEx, UPS. They post their checks on Facebook after child support get a hold of some. You know, they make $1,200 or whatever in 2 weeks. Child support take all of it, and they got like -$4 on the check. Like it's bro. Like I don't know how real that is, but when you see stuff like that, I cringe for that person because it's like you want to be there and do what you can for your kid. There is no kid that's living in poverty that needs $1,200 a month.
Right.
It's not happening. There's no kid out there that needs $50,000 a month. But you're seeing these ridiculous numbers in the celebrity world, but then you also hear the fallout. The big story that came out that really got me to harping on this a little bit was the 50 Cent thing.
Okay.
Anybody who follows the Menace at all.
The Menace?
That's 50. 50 trolls everybody. He's a menace. That's one of my favorite people.
Money don't grow you up, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, 50. I think 50 is a very mature person, and like I told you one time,
I'm not knocking him. I was just saying. Like when that one time though, when he was on, what was he at the top of the building and he dumped his vitamin water over the building, whatever. I was like, oh yeah, that was mature. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, everybody does something stupid every once in a while. But
I can attest. I can attest for sure.
His relationship with his oldest son has not been a secret. You saw Marquise a lot when he was younger. I think he was in which video was he in? It wasn't the Mini Man video. Was the PAMP video? Marquise was in one of the videos. Looked just like 50 back in the day. And then you just thought that was going to be a great... And then you start hearing about all of this turmoil and stuff in between them. Like, bickering.
Right.
Marquise wrote them off. They block each other on social media. 50 has written some stuff and read some stuff about what the cause of that was. And it seemed like it was revolving around money. Like Marquise, he made it seem like Marquise was entitled. And that everything was happening for free for him. And then when things stopped happening... Marquise got bitter. That's what it sounded like. But then you hear the story.
Shocker.
I know, big shocker. But then you hear the story about like what actually happened. And what's floating around now is that 50 was giving Marquise's mom $50K a month. Okay, 50 can do that. This wasn't child support related to nothing. The next part of this story grows that the woman gets greedy because this always happens. And she wanted more money. So 50 said, okay, I didn't want no problems, but you want some problems? No problem.
Right. He loves
so
saying
he
that.
takes himself to court to put himself on child support. And the judge reduces it from $50K to $6,700 a month.
Game!
And
check and mate.
So and now you're hearing all these things that, Marquise has blocked 50 again. This thing that Marquise is saying, I'll pay $56,700 for an hour of his time for us to repair our relationship. Yeah. The game, the rapper is out there talking about Marquise come to death, bro. Like, it's all kind of crazy stuff happening.
That's the sad part about it, though. I mean, I don't care. How old is Marquise?
Oh, 20. You got to be 22, 23
Yeah,
now.
see, that's the sad part about it. I mean, 25. The only thing about, father fractures and childhood fractures, they have no age.
They don't.
You know what I mean? That is the sad part out of it all.
Where did that fracture come from? It came from, and I could be reading this story wrong, but in my eyes, it came from a greedy individual wanting more than what they needed when they were already getting in abundance, which is this child support thing.
Right.
Pushing the issue, and then when it gets knocked to what it actually should be, now you're upset. And then, of course, you know that person is saying certain things. Oh, well, your dad was doing this, but now he's not. Because I've seen that happen. And I've watched when the woman in the relationship doesn't get what she wants out of child support, starts calling the dad all of this and that and this to the kid, planting these terrible seeds in their mind.
And again, the kid's the victim.
And it destroys the kid's relationship with the father. The father now has a terrible relationship with the mother because you've made me the enemy of my child when I just want to be there.
But is that child support? Or child support is just the platform that the parents are using to act ignorant.
That's what I'm saying. The platform.
So the platform could be anything.
It could be, but the money aspect of it, what gets paid per month, I think is the starting factor to what deteriorates a bunch of those relationships.
So, all right. So, we always talk about words matter, semantics, all that. So child support doesn't ruin families, but families get ruined by using child support to ruin families.
Sure. Okay. Yes.
Seriously, because child support in and of itself don't ruin families.
You know what? That $50K a month that 50 was giving them was ruining them.
But that wasn't right. But again, that's that level. Like, again, there is entitlement there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then what do you expect? Like, like Marquise didn't come out the womb and say, "Hey, I would like to live this kind of lifestyle."
Right.
You decided to literally let that child grow up in that lifestyle, and then you're going to snatch it away. Of course, the child's going to have some kind of reaction for it because you're literally taking away a life that's all they knew. So Marquise, to me, again, is just really at the end of the day, he's the victim.
I'm not saying he's not.
No, I'm not saying you aren't. But I'm just saying, but that's a money thing. I would say a child support thing.
Okay.
It's a money thing.
Well, I tie it to child support because that's where the money generally comes from.
I get that.
That's where I'm getting it at. And when we see, stop it. When we see these celebrities go through these bouts, whether it's alimony, whether it's child support, like Mary J. Blige's relationship, when that thing happened and she had to pay was it $150K a month or something like that, $130K a month?
See, stuff like that I don't keep up with.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But I mean, the astronomical numbers, like when people say money's the root of all evil, that love of it part is absolutely true.
Yeah, the love of it, yeah.
When you can get your hands on it, you're going to want
Can
more.
y'all promise me that those of you that have been saying it wrong this entire time, that as of today, as of this episode, you would now get it right from now on? It's the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. Because some of y'all out there working 40, 50, 60 hours a week for evil. Think about what you're saying. I am working my butt off for the root of all evil. That don't even make no sense. All right, it's the freaking love of money. And while we're on it, it's Valentine, not Valentine's. But go ahead. And there's only one New Year. And it's not a savings account. They like saving. But all right, so anyway, let's roll on. Let's roll on.
That goes to just my whole point of it. And again, I see it so much in regular everyday life with people where you see the mom and dads are bickering, who's going to buy the Happy Meals, you not doing enough for this. You saw the whole video that came out, this is probably a few months ago, when the dad bought his kids some food, but the baby mama had other kids, and he was like, that's my kid right here.
Right.
If you can let him come out here, he can eat with me, but I'm not buying food for your other baby daddy's kids where your other baby daddy's at.
Right.
And she's using it over his head saying he ain't this, he ain't that, because he's not trying to provide for this. And that's why I say child support is destroying families, because whichever one is receiving it weaponizes it against the one who has to pay it.
Again, you're going to hear me say this over and over, and I'm going to say it one last time, because otherwise I'll go around the bush. Child support is not ruining families. How child support is being weaponized. That's what you just said.
I just
right, but that's not the. But you literally said two different things in the same sentence. Said child support is ruining families because it's being weaponized.
Okay, so let's do it this way. If I spray you up with my water,
it's almost like gun don't kill people. People kill people. Actually, that's the truth.
It is the truth.
Yeah.
But the gun did it too. The gun was a part of the situation.
The gun didn't do it by himself. It's how the person used the gun.
And that's what I'm saying. But it's
so child support in and of itself ain't bad.
But is it a part of the act or not? So
yes, it's a part of the act.
Then that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about what's a part of the act. Okay, damn it. The weaponization of it includes it.
I like that.
And its inclusion is causing our talented artists to have these ridiculous headline stories that pull our attention away.
And I'm beyond the artists. This is messing up kids.
Well, that too.
And relationships and family dynamics and all that. Yeah. My whole thing is, dads, you can do what my boy did, is whatever his child needed, he bought that thing.
Yeah.
Like the mom didn't really get money, but he did have to, the value of whatever he bought had to reach whatever he was supposed to pay, $3,000 a month, whatever it was, it had to reach that. So if the baby needed a new pair of shoes, he bought the shoes.
Some expensive Jordans. Okay.
I'm just saying, he bought the shoes, he bought the lunch, he bought the school supplies, he literally bought the groceries. He literally said, what do you like to eat? And he asked his mom, what do you want to cook? And he bought his part of the groceries or whatever that was. But anyway, he bought the stuff. Yeah, there was some cash, but it wasn't the whole thing. The majority of the child support was paid in kind or in material, which I think is a smarter way to do it. Personally,
there was a part two to why I wanted to bring.
Go for it. Part two.
I'm not gonna call any names.
Call them.
No, I can't. I'm not gonna do her like this because I've had this conversation with her directly. But I know a young lady,
Michelle,
sure, who is pursuing an entertainment career.
Oh, I know. Janice.
Yeah, no. Stop it, bro. You cut it, because if you stumble across it and my poker
I'm just
face
look at your face, right?
my
Nicole,
poker face give out.
Shawanda.
Man, you better stop.
Freaking
no, she has pushed for more child support on multiple occasions. Poor baby daddy has been forced to pay more, and she's bankrolling that money. The baby got more than the baby need.
Right.
But she is funding her.
What does she do?
She's trying to be an actress.
An actress?
Yeah, she wants.
She's here in Atlanta?
No, she's not here in Atlanta. No,
where's
she's
she?
in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Dang, I don't put you out there. But she's
a friend of yours, though.
She's a friend of mine. Yeah, she's from my hometown. But I know her
Florida?
to be doing this. Yeah, she's from Florida. You don't know her. Don't do it. Stop.
No, but you said hometown. I thought all of a sudden you was in Chicago. That's why I was like,
she lives in Chicago.
She lives in Chicago now.
She's from my hometown. She's from Jacksonville.
Got you.
So, but I know that she's gotten more child support, and I know
So if y'all know anyone who's from Florida who now lives in Chicago and she's an actress, go on and just share this with every actress you know in Chicago. She gonna hear it.
If she ever hears this episode, I'm gonna hear it. But I mean, it's apropos to what we're talking about, and
and unfortunately, that is the abuse of the system.
And that's my thing. I feel like, and again, I'm not going to talk about the kids because I think the kids are well loved by both of their parents from what I've seen from a distance.
Right.
But for her to squeeze out more than necessary because the kids.
But I don't understand how judges even let that. How does that even go through court? I mean, one, when it comes to stuff like that, like divorces and child support and stuff like that, the dudes, they go in with an L.
Yeah.
They have to try to undo the L. but they go in with an L.
I was talking to Kid. Well, I think you were in here too. And I was talking about the passport bros. Like they're leaving because it's not. They're leaving getting women here in the States.
The
because
password bros?
Passport bros.
Oh, passport bros.
The whole thing. Get your passport, leave the country, and find your woman outside the country. Because women outside the country don't have the mentality of get with a man just so he can fund or bankroll my lifestyle.
Right.
Like they actually want to, reciprocate.
Right.
And whatever that is, building your house, making food, cooking, taking care, all that stuff. Instead
There are
of
many ways to reciprocate women.
well, it is. But instead of the
Many
whole
ways.
pay for my nails, pay for my hair, oh, we got a baby now, I don't want you no more, but I want half of all of your stuff. Like, you don't get that outside of here. That's like an
some places.
Americanized. It's Americanized.
Well, I'm sure we lead the way.
Now, we're definitely probably exporting it now because, women are starting to spread that kind of mentality. But that mentality is destroying kids' relationships with whichever the other parent is. And when people do it for career statements, like when they're trying to build a career off of another person's.
Right. And let's just call them out. Like, and women out there, you know who you are. If any of you happen to be listening to this podcast, because we actually do have all kinds of people who listen to this podcast. And if you know a chick that does this, like, I'm calling you out. You're the problem. Like, straight up. If the baby's father is paying what he quite literally can afford. And there are some fathers out there, and look, both of y'all played a role, so the finger pointing doesn't matter because both of y'all had to lay with each other. So don't even try to play the blame game. But if you ended up opening your legs for a dude who had a subpar job that didn't pay a whole heck of a lot, well, then stop trying to get 50-cent money from him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So if he's literally paying what he can afford, and even if that's not enough, the man is still doing his job to provide. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all just have to make do. This is your responsibility, not the child's responsibility. All right? And if the man is well off, but he's providing what the child needs, and just because you want to get your breasts done or your lips or your butt done or your artist career, whatever it is, that's not the child's concern. It's not the father's concern. Yeah. So you are the problem. Now, this podcast isn't necessarily about the dads that try to skip out, because that's a whole nother mess, and we can hit y'all between your eyes too, because you just some lames. Like, straight up, you a lame. Bleep word. But this podcast ain't about y'all today. But the women that are trying to freak the whole system, at the end of the day, you're not hurting the father. And the fathers who are lame, you're not hurting the mother. You're hurting the child. So y'all some selfish mofos.
I like that.
So straight up, just know we talking to you today. No holds barred. Let there be no questions about it. We talking to you today. And you are who you are.
Yeah. And you better Biggie size my fries with that. No, that's what I would have said. That's it, man. That's all I got. I thought the story was funny at first. I didn't think it was real. The whole thing with 50. But then when they said that he put himself on child support, that's a total 50 move.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That was ingenious. That was ingenious.
Just to kind of get back at someone who's like, you don't understand. I'm doing more than what you deserve and what you need.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna give you what you're asking for.
Especially for what you need.
Exactly.
I won't say the deserved part, because who knows why y'all not together.
That's true.
I'm sure there's a role you played.
There could be something. But again, the relationship with 50 and Marquise is damaged irreparably, possibly.
Yeah.
And I can see that being a key factor in why. And I can, like I said, some of my friends who are dealing with some of this stuff right now, some of their relationships with their kids are damaged heavily because the mother is telling the kids such and such, and it's not really what's happening.
But let's put the spotlight back again on the true victim of all this kind of hootenanny shenanigans.
The baby.
The child. And this goes for the rest of you guys. I have a little piece of advice, maybe some inspiration for you. If you are dealing with anything in your life that you don't know where it comes from, say anger issues, right? Say self-esteem issues, say fear of rejection, whatever it is, I want to encourage you to rewind the clock and take a very extremely 20,000 league deep dive into your childhood. I will almost, I'm not going to 100%, but I will almost guarantee you will find a ton of root answers there. There was something that happened and something that was unresolved as a child that literally carried into your adulthood, and it morphed into something. It literally became its own beast or being. So it might not look like what it did as a child, but it grew into something. And you have to be very smart. If you have to get help with it, whether professional or family help, ask questions. I've seen in my own life and in my own family how this has brought about a ton of healing. I mean, tear-bringing healing where people have literally felt free by going back into the childhood, addressing it, acknowledging it, and admitting it and taking accountability with it, and then moving forward. And they have now answers for things that are happening. And because they have understanding of what they can attribute it to, they are now able to navigate so many problems in their lives. So I encourage you to do that. But for those of you who are tripping on this child support thing, this is the stuff you're setting your child up for. And whoever it is they end up spending their life with now has to marry into this thing. So it goes way beyond you and your selfish tale. So get your act together. We love y'all. Thanks for supporting Life on Podcast. Follow us now on lifeonpodcast.com. And you can binge on the last 10 episodes. Matter of fact, have your child listen to it because you ain't doing your child. Oh, let me relax.
I saw that snot bubble building up. It was coming.
Yeah, lifeonpodcast.com. That's where it is. We love y'all. We appreciate you. We're going to have that 1 million subscribers in 2023. I speak it, and it will happen. Follow me on stonestafford.com. If you want to hit me up on my Instagram or social media or whatever, you can hit me up there. And then Johnny.
Just Johnny Vaughn, JUSTJONYVAN. Broken people hurt broken people, make broken people. Stop breaking people.
Shoot, say that. Yo, we love y'all. We out. Peace.
So back to what I was saying. What I was saying.